What is it doing? What is it doing? What is it doing? Okay, I can hear me
Yeah, that's what I
very
said.
well.
It's coming through the speakers.
Yeah, but you don't hear nothing through.
We just gotta make sure on Facebook. Okay. No question. Yeah.
Oh, they can hear me now because I
Mhm.
it's playing. Okay, now just tone it down a little bit. No, over there. Right. Just turn it down. That's it. See? Now, put it back on me for a minute. So, what was I saying? What's the topic today?
Facing.
No.
Facing the truth about
Facing the
ourselves.
truth about yourself. So, what happens when you're trying to get something organized? What you got to do?
Prepare.
You got to prepare. You got to put the work in, right? This is a prime example. This is what happens. This is what we do. But guess what? It doesn't make us a failure, right? That's a lesson for everybody. It doesn't make you a failure for anything to start going wrong. What do? You jump back in there, you keep grinding. You keep grinding. You can have a rough start, and what do? Is you keep going. Let me tell you something. One of the things that I've been paying attention to is this. We have a lot of people that give up just before things get ready to get right, and and all of a sudden everything will start turning bad. Now, what I want people to know when they look over and see what's going on with us in here. Um, so at this point, everything is okay over on that board, right? So you don't have to switch anything, right? So if you switch, you got both cameras on me, because if you can't got in this seat right here, would you be on this camera?
I would have to adjust it.
Okay, Lady Z, come and get in this seat while she do the adjustment.
Okay.
Cause hey, what's the topic today? Facing the truth. Facing the truth about yourself. So what we doing is we facing the truth that we are making moves. We are being competitive. We are trying to keep moving forward. And at the same time, I could easily say, yo, not today. What we're going to do is we're going to just focus on, um, we're just going to focus on trying to just get everything in order. You smiling, look, but you got to realize she can't even see you. They don't even see you right
Oh
now.
no, I was talking
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Chrissy anyway.
You was talking to Christy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, now what's happening right now? What we doing is we facing the truth about ourselves. We got a lot of work to do.
So
Boom.
if you took some of that stuff off the course, would that affect that?
That
The
could be that.
mindset?
I don't know. But it ain't
I'm
the
gonna
time
put a
for me.
monitor now.
Yeah, it ain't time for me to start figuring it out
It's
now.
real talk. It's real talk.
It ain't no real
Real.
talk.
I mean,
This
it's
is people
people
to
to
people.
people.
You don't.
Talking real talk.
You're talking real talk.
Talking real talk.
Yeah, but what happens is we again, and this is to the audience. So sometimes I think God do things on purpose, and this is for all of us to see, right? And we were having a talk, and the topic today: Are you the problem or are you the solution? Now, did y'all see what just happened? Were you the problem, T? No, no. I mean, put the camera on
Yes,
you.
I'm on to you.
No,
I
were
was.
no. It was a problem. You were not the problem. It was a problem. You can go back over there, Lady Z. Uh, what I'm saying is, you know, let's. You got to figure out what it is. The problem wasn't that we unhooked all the cords in here over the weekend. There was a whole lot going on, and what it is, it was a problem, not you. You're in the seat, and you're doing what you got to do. What did you just become? The solution.
The solution.
That's what you did. Put the camera back on you. Pay attention because now I'm going back on because I already told you you're in the hot seat today. So you got to go back and forth to you and me because it's on us. And the reason why I'm doing this, y'all, is because I want y'all to also see that there's other people working. There's other people working behind this. And when we start to work together, what happens? We start making a difference. Now we back rolling right now, okay? And it's not a problem. We became the solution. That's what many people out there got to understand. Real quick, come over and get in the hot seat with me for a minute, Christy. Come, yeah, I know you ain't dressed because you get ready. We switching it around a little bit because what we trying to do is let people know, yo, this is what we doing. So, uh, Christy, is, this is Christy Love who come in on Wednesday, but she's also in here becoming a tech to replace Tiana, who's been working with us the whole time. And actually, what we are doing is we are not being the problem, but we're being what?
The solution.
The solution. And that's what a lot of people. And God got a way of letting people see things. Here, the topic today, and we saw what happened soon as we got started. Now, let me tell you something. For real, if we wanted to say what was the problem was that I came in here on Saturday trying to help some other people, and I start pulling wires apart. So
Now
if we want to do that, right?
Mhm.
So now what I'm doing is, as I go forward, Christy, how are you feeling working on the board now? You pretty good moving it around?
I'm ready. I'm motivated because Tiana got some things to say. She need to get out of that seat over
I
there.
know. So
I
switch.
wanna sit
So
there.
switch seats with us. Switch seats with us. She got everything all hot up. Tiana, come over here with me. Come on over here with me. Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
yeah. Okay. So now this is what I'm doing. See, I'm trying to set an example today, because what we're doing, we facing the truth. The truth is that this operation can't run with just one person, not efficiently. And a lot of us out here got to understand that's just how business is. That's how we network. When you become self and you get into self, then what happens is you become the problem and you have no solution. But when you come together, you become the solution. You basically, I'm not. I know you're. I'm not going to tell you to tell your age now unless you want to. But you right now looking at the way society is and dealing with things. Do you consider yourself dealing with a lot of problems?
Definitely I do. I'm just learning how to cope and manage with it more better. The older I get, I feel like I am doing a lot better when I think back to when I was younger. But um, yeah, I just try to maintain and just stay focused through all these, problems we have in the world.
And sometimes where we find ourselves is that we take on the problems and we start punishing ourselves.
Oh yeah. I do. I have that problem as well. Always kind of get myself caught up, beating myself up, or feeling like I'm not doing enough. Yeah, those are normal things, but you don't want to do it too much, you know. So
It
I
causes
try to,
depression,
yeah,
anxiety,
stress, really
stress,
bad.
headaches,
hmm
body aches,
And like
low
things you want to
self-esteem.
do, you find yourself not doing anymore. So it's not a lot of bad traits that come with that.
Yeah. And see, one of the things that we got to do is and I'm talking that's you out there that's watching and us too. Like I said, I think that God do things to let us see and
Yeah.
prepare us. The topic today was facing the truth about yourself, right?
Yes.
I have a lot of times have to face the truth about me. I have to face the truth on what I'm doing, how I'm surrounding myself around certain people. Who do I depend on? How many people are really there for me and how many not? But when it really comes down to it, I'm the one that counts. And that's for each individual. If we want to see success with this project, what we got to do is keep doing and become the solution, you know. And I already know what we bring to the table. I've been doing this too long. I put on shows. I've mentor. I help feed people. I help people. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, the other day, I was getting ready to get the leaves up in my yard, and looked over at my neighbor's yard, and he had way more leaves than me, and so I started to do his yard, right? And what happened is I end up doing his yard and getting his yard looking pretty, and then the sun went down on me.
And you never got to finish yours.
Yeah. And guess what? How I felt when I went in the house.
You
Actually,
feel good?
I felt good because I helped somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but then I also started beating myself up because I was like, look at my yard.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that becomes a problem. That's what
Mhm.
I'm talking about with people out there who's dealing with these things. Sometimes it's something that you just have to work through to get where you are.
Or like balance.
Yeah.
It's okay with helping others, but don't forget what you got to take care of as well.
Exactly. And
Because then you'll start beating yourself up. If I didn't do this, or if I would have just got what I needed to get done, I wouldn't be in this situation. You know.
and that's what happens.
Mhm.
A lot of times, what you have to do is you have to look in the mirror. And when you look in the mirror, you know what depresses a lot of people is when you start seeing who you really are.
Yeah.
When you start to realize that all my problems I bring on myself. And in that process, then the worst thing you can do is become the problem. But I refuse to do that. I refuse to become the problem. I become the solution. Because guess what? They took away about 10 bags of leaves today. I did get my front yard, but I didn't get my
Not
back.
bad.
And I got my neighbor's backyard, and I didn't get them all up. But this was so funny. Guess what? When I looked out after they took the bag of leaves this morning, all the leaves that was down the street blew back up into front of my house.
In the front yard.
Yes.
Oh.
So,
Mm.
but how do I deal with that? Do I get mad? Do I give up? No.
No.
It's a process. It's a process.
Especially, and then when it's out of your control, you know.
I like that. Exactly. That when it's out of your control. And a lot of times that's what happened with us when we start to get depressed and we start to let everything build up. I have a guy that I talk to. I consider him to be a good friend of mine. He's a co-worker, but he always say, if you can't fix it, don't worry about it. He said, if you can't do nothing about it right there, why are you worrying about it? Don't put the energy into it. Put the energy into something you can fix. We are moving into a whole different category. We getting ready to get to a point where I'm telling you something. What's going to happen is, in 2022, we're going to be coming across so professional that it's going to blow people's mind.
Yes.
And I want people to see where we are as they see us transition to see how we growing. Because guess what? It's not us that the problem. We just have problems. It's not us that's the problem. We just have problems.
But you think a lot of us look at ourselves as the problem?
Yeah, we
That
do.
we can't even focus on what the problem is.
I'm one of
Just-
them
yeah.
sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm laying in the bed and I'm depressed because I felt like, Rodney, you should have did it right. At my age, I start to go back and I'm going to tell you something. I wish I had paid more attention in school.
Oh yeah.
Let me tell you, when I was coming up in school, education wasn't pressed to us like that. We went to school just so we wouldn't get no whooping. Most of us. Because our parents didn't really get that education.
And I'm guilty with that as well. I wish I paid more attention, because you find yourself just, catching up to certain things that you didn't pay attention to, or didn't stay on top of that's important that you need to know in your adult life. And then it's just certain things in school I feel they should be teaching because
Right.
you find yourself an adult and now you're trying to learn and figure all these things out, but everybody's circumstances is different and everybody learn different, but I wish if I could go back, I would pay more attention because education really is a big serious thing that you need to have.
Okay, so you said you wish you could, right?
Yes.
So
what you about to say?
Tell me what I'm getting ready to say. Go ahead.
No, I need to go back to school.
No, that you can start working on it now, just like even with me.
Mhm.
I'm old enough to be your dad, okay? But it doesn't mean that I can't still learn,
Right.
and you too.
Mhm.
And this is a lot of people out there who have problems. I don't care what the situation is. This is what people to people is about. We want to deal with the truth and start to bring things to the forefront. I don't want to just talk about who's celebrities and who's famous. I'm not saying I don't want to talk to them. I do. I can't wait to get a few of them on the program.
Right.
But what I'm really talking about is the people, the everyday people that's struggling, dealing with depression, dealing with suicidal thoughts, dealing with anxiety attacks, and struggling with money and struggling with relationships.
It's really real.
This is real, and this is what be beating us up. Are we the problem or are we the solution? And we got to figure out, for real, until you give up, you're the solution.
Mhm.
When you give up and don't fight anymore, you become the problem. And that's what is so important. That's what the topic is today. We started off a little rough. That's okay. I don't have a problem with that. What I'm saying is this. I still don't give up. I got a lot of people out there. They could be looking at me saying, "Oh man, look at this, that," but they don't know what I have to deal with, what I'm doing to get the things done.
Mhm.
They don't know my situation.
They don't.
But what I do is I don't give up.
So what keeps you motivated to not give up?
Number one, God.
Number one, God. Yes.
I'm gonna tell you.
Mhm.
If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't even be here right now. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'd have blew my brains out a long time ago.
Mhm. And you'll just feel His presence saying it'll be okay.
I pray and I believe because now let me say this when I said I would have blew my brains out. The reason why I say that because I've been hurt so many times by different people. People that supposed to love me hurt me dearly. I'm talking to the core of my bones. And I just didn't want to be around anymore. But then God talked to me and He told me I gave you a gift. And that gift is life. Every morning that I wake up, I have to realize that this is another opportunity that I have a choice and a voice. I have the choice to be a better me, and I have a voice to speak up for me. And I continue to do that, no matter what.
Mhm.
So when I had the choice yesterday, rake that man's yard or mine's. But let me tell you what happened. When I was raking his yard, God bless his soul, he came out to the back. And I had the blower and I was blowing the leaves and everything. And he finally got my attention because I couldn't hear him because the loud noise in my right ear not working like it's, I'm deaf in it. He finally got my attention and he says, "Thank you. Thank you so much." He said, "It's bad right now." And I said, "What you mean?" He said, "Because I can't do it." I said, "Don't say that. It's okay. It's okay." I can only imagine what he was feeling like that because he wanted to come out and rake his own leaves, but he couldn't. Was he the problem?
No.
No. Do we have a problem? Yes. The problem was he had a yard full of leaves. But was it he the problem? No, it was a situation. And to solve it, I actually helped it. I helped.
Mhm.
Now, when I woke up and looked in my yard and saw them leaves still in my yard, I was like, man, I still got the leaf problem. But I can make it better because eventually I can get them out of there.
Yep.
Right?
Mhm.
And that's, put the camera, switch the camera on you for a minute there, Kristen. So how are you functioning as far as your problems? You think that you the problem, or what you got to add to it?
Well, I just had this conversation with me this weekend. I had to coach myself through things, and I was the problem at one point because I wasn't focused on me. I was focused on other people and what they thought about me instead of focusing on my mental health, and that actually pushed me down further mentally. And then I was thinking, that's the problem. And so the solution is it's a new day. Focus on me, find some medicine, find a doctor, get back into therapy, and solve the issues that were happening at work. What are you going to do different when you get to work? What's a good, come up with an action plan.
That's so. If you think about me and you,
Mhm.
when we were talking about us and how we dealing with issues, that's what we have to do. We have to come with an action plan. We have to come up with a solution to say what is it that we're going to do to make things better for ourselves.
Right.
And when we do that, then that pass on to other people, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so that's not an easy thing to do, though.
It's not. No.
We'll find ourselves sometimes struggling.
Yeah. Just keeping that plan together. You saying?
Yeah, keeping the plan together and just doing it all. I mean,
Yeah. Create. Yeah. I say for me, just creating it, and then you want to stay consistent with that plan. So, yeah, me that writing that plan down, and then just that discipline that got to come behind it. You know.
and then you get that peer pressure.
Oh yeah.
That's
Because it's a process, and sometimes I find myself where I know my plan, but I just want to kind of get there because I be feeling like I don't have the patience. It's like so much. I'm trying to work on my patience, me being more disciplined with myself, and next thing you know, if something happened, then I'm just like feeling all over the place to the point where I'm like, I don't know, I start pushing it to the side, and then that's when the guilt and the shame come in, and it's just a roller coaster of all of these different emotions of making myself feel bad for not sticking with the plan.
Yeah.
And and with life, it's not just one. I feel like it's not just with one plan. It just depend on where everybody life is at, and I just feel like I have to set up so many plans, and it's like, where do I start? You know, so
Even with me, I've been finding myself like wanting to run around and talking about getting people in the program and doing these things, and I be saying to myself, man, what are you doing? Well, actually, what I'm doing is I'm trying to fix my solution. Okay, I'm being the solution. I'm trying to fix things that I consider to be a problem and taking them to a point where they're going to be eliminated.
mm-hmm.
And it's not an easy thing to do. You know, I have trials and tribulations every day. I got people that want to see me fail. I got people that want to see me win too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But what's more important is not them. Guess who it is?
Yeah.
Me. It's me. And that goes for every one of us in this room. And everyone that's out there that's watching. And everybody that thinking that they are by themselves. You're not by yourself, for real, for real. All of us are going through this. Just because you're wealthy doesn't mean you don't have wealthy problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yep.
Wealthy man got more problems than
I
you
was
can
about to say
imagine.
that part getting more.
Yeah. You can imagine a drunk can sit on the street and all he got to do, his problem is just getting another drink.
Yep.
When a wealthy man, he got to worry about them thousands of people that work for him.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got to worry about the thousands of people that's trying to take from him. Then he got to worry about the 1,000 people that's looking at him that depend on him to feed them.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine what it's like when he wake up in the morning? And we sometimes cry over a little spilled milk. That's when you have to check yourself and see. And just facing yourself. Being truthful for who you are. My stomach didn't get big because I just laid down and woke up like that. My stomach started getting big because I got lazy. And I wasn't eating properly. Wasn't exercising. Because this is a guy that's 61 years old that don't have a stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And he can sit down and tell me, this is what I do to prevent it. And if you got a mental problem, let me tell you something. Guess what? You ain't the only one. Everybody in this world has some type of mental illness. I don't care
Whether
if
they
it's...
want to admit it or not.
Huh?
I said whether they want to admit it or not.
How about that?
Yeah, everybody
There's a
just
lot
deal
of
with
us.
it differently.
See, what we got to do is we just got to get to the point of reality and you check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to yourself. Find out what it is that triggers you. And then don't give into it. And it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Takes practice.
What did you say?
It takes practice. Like going to the gym. You got to practice that muscle, working out your triggers and processing it. And processing it takes time. It's actually neuroplasty. So neuroplasty, it takes time where you create a new way of behaving. So instead of feeling triggered, you can feel at peace because you know why you're triggered. So you can move on to the next thing you're trying to accomplish.
And
Yeah.
that's something that's important for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now y'all gonna trip off me because all of us in here today we dealing with little things here and there, and so it's about us being real, who we are, what we are,
Yeah.
what we dealing with. I do know this, that 2021, 2020 was rough. I lost a lot of people. A lot of people had taken advantage of me. I'm gonna talk about a little situation that happened a few days ago. I told somebody about something that made me happy, and after I told them about it, the way that they handled it, it made me sad. So after I dealt with it, I felt bad that I told him about it, and it took the joy out of the happiness that I had. So when I evaluated myself, right, facing the truth about myself, facing the truth about myself, I had to realize I allowed that person to take my joy. I allowed them to take my joy. And so when I went back and looked at the thing that made me happy, and I removed them from that situation, I start smiling again. And I realized I was in control, for real. It really wasn't, it was a problem that they created, but a problem that I didn't allow to take over. I became the solution. And that's what we got to think about.
Because if you didn't find that solution, then you would have became the problem.
There you go. Just that easy. If I didn't work on the solution, then I would allow that problem to manipulate me to be the problem. I don't care what it is. If you need mental health, go see a doctor. You know, let me tell you what I know for a fact. My psychiatrist tell me that, you know what, Rodney, the people that are really sick are the ones who are in denial. She told me, don't feel bad because you call me and talk to me and tell me you need to talk to me. Half the people don't know what I've been through as a child. You don't know what I went through. A lot of people haven't experienced it. I don't know what you went through. There's people out there that went through some things. I don't know what it's like with you, Christy, when you're sitting in your kitchen by yourself.
That's where my childhood hurts happened in the kitchen.
Switch it when you talk, so that people can see who you are.
All my childhood hurts happened in the kitchen. So up until basically this year and last year is when I've been trying to heal my childhood hurts, and I would go in the kitchen and start cooking and start working through my triggers and childhood hurts.
And
I
that's
actually did it on Facebook Live, so I have my supporters that just. So now I go in the kitchen and cook. I don't think about my childhood hurts, but it was a process.
So do you consider yourself to be the problem though, or do you have problems?
I just have a problem.
Yes, that's it.
That I work through.
There you
It's
go.
no longer a problem.
Right. What about you, T?
It depends. It really depends. I'm still working through a lot of that. I feel like my problem is just not being disciplined enough.
Whose fault is it?
Mine.
Is it something that could be fixed?
Yes, it could be
Okay.
fixed.
That's what I'm saying. See, you know, when I be talking to people and I mentor the people, one thing I do is I kind of let them deal with their own self. Don't worry about me. You got to think about you. You the one. If you don't wipe your butt, what's gonna be in it?
A whole bunch of
Shit.
Ain't gonna be pretty.
Go ahead.
Question.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What's that?
So if it's so hard, if there's something that's really hard, maybe it's not that avenue to go to. Maybe it's time to create something different. Forcing something sometimes is not the right thing. You try to fit a puzzle together, and even the puzzle you have, you mix in two puzzles together. So the thing about life is that you get to create it differently. You think, yeah, maybe I should live this way, and this is traditional, this is the way I want to do it. But your body's already telling you, I don't want to do it that way.
You know what that comes with? What you kind of just described? A person who's gay, who's afraid to face the fact that they are, and they don't know how to tell everybody else that they have those tendencies, and they don't know why. These are situations that you run into.
But once you admit it, and when you're ready to say something and be okay with just being, it's so much freeing. It's scary, but you're your authentic self, and then you're free.
Yes.
You can deal with the other stuff later, but you got to be free inside. You got to be able to not be
It's important. It is important for all of us. It's important for all of us to be able to come to that reality and say, this is who I am. This is what it. You know, one of the things that I found out about myself is that, you know, I dream big. I dream bigger than a lot of people around me. And so when you do that, they look at you like you think you all that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I'm doing? I'm surrounding myself around the people who dream big too. See, I'm not an ordinary person. I know I'm not. When I wake up, I don't want to put on a wrinkled shirt. I want my shirt ironed, even if I'm just going outside to rake the grass. Some people would think, dude, why you gotta iron your shirt? But that's who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person that rakes the man yard before I rakes my own because I know that for real, that's gonna make him feel better. See, if something happened to my neighbor, which I think about sometimes, it's gonna crush me. So that little bit of time I spent out there raking his leaves, oh man, and I saw the smile on his face, meant everything to me. And that's when I know that I'm okay, and I'm the solution, not the problem. There's many of us out there that's probably having issues we got to deal with. Let me tell you something. Look at yourself and check out who you are. Don't beat yourself up. If it's something you can't fix right away, then don't worry about it. But I can tell you this. You need to check out and see where the situation lies, where the problem lies. Like we talk about in our neighborhoods. If you got a trashy neighborhood, you can't blame nobody but your neighbors and you. Because it's up to you to pick the trash up off the street. The trash don't get there by itself. Most of us throw it down. Then you go into another neighborhood where all the grass is cut neat and everything is beautiful, and you be like, oh, who they think they are? No. What they're doing is they're making their situation. They are solving a problem and coming up with a solution. Pick the trash up and put it in the trash can. If you don't want to look like a bum, what you got to do? You got to fix yourself up. You don't want to be a drunk? Then don't drink. I had a young lady talking to me, and she was telling me, you know, I'm not calling her name, but I'm sure she's not watching because I just met her. But anyway, she was telling me about she's in a profession that requires somebody to do something for her. And the dude was trying to pressure her to have sex, right? In order to get what she wanted. That's a problem.
Oh yeah.
Is she the problem?
No.
No. Can she come up with a solution?
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I told her? I said, go to him and tell him that if you don't respect me for my profession, then we don't need to be friends or associates. And leave him. And move on. He's not the only producer. He's not the only person that can offer you something. And that's what a lot of people we run into. Instead of laying in the bed and feeling sorry for ourselves, and let me tell you something, I'm talking to myself as well, because it done happened to me where I've laid in the bed and felt sorry for myself. But guess what? That don't do nothing, because guess what? If I stay in that bed all day on Sunday, feeling sorry, when I wake up on Monday, guess what? It's still there. But if I wake up on Monday and roll over and say, yo, I'm going to get up, and God has given me another chance to have that choice and the voice to be able to make a change in my life, then it's up to me. Now I become the solution. I'm facing the truth about myself. Knowing whether I'm a procrastinator, lazy, drug addict, whatever, I'm facing the truth. Hard worker, a winner, a survivor, I'm facing the truth. That's what people to people is all about. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yeah, I break it down for you. People to people, that's me, you, and them. All of us. You're a woman. I'm gonna ask you. You know, sometimes it's just the way I say it, but I keep it real. But do you pee?
Yep.
I do too. You know that?
Yes.
The only difference is that you sit down and I stand up.
Mhm.
But they all still smell the same and still yellow. If we keep it real, right?
Yeah.
If you don't wipe yourself, what's gonna happen? You're gonna be shitty.
Mhm.
And that ain't got nothing to do whether you're black, white, yellow, green, or whatever.
Yep.
I know
It don't
sometimes
matter.
people can say, when I come across because I want you to just deal with the facts and the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this. If you never shot dope in your arm, right? And a guy come up and tell you, man, you should try this because this is going to make you feel better. Go ask them mugs before you do it that's in those rooming houses and in them recovery places how well they feel. See what they tell you. So if you put the drug in your arm, the problem ain't the drug. The problem is you. The situation. So what do? You have to come up with the right solutions. The solutions to make yourself move forward. And we as a people, we have to do that. We got to get to a point where we got to start learning how to be the solution for each other too. Not pulling each other down. It's not easy. And somebody's got to do it. I always say, pimping ain't easy, but somebody got to do it, and you ain't pimping me. You feel me? So that's just the way it is. Life itself. We as people to people are looking to deal with the real truth of the matter. Let me tell you something. You know what's so funny? For a while, I stopped wanting to find that celebrity status. You see how many people be getting killed?
Mhm.
Soon as people see you start making money.
Oh yeah. Ooh, we got a caller.
Hello, caller. Say your name. You on people to people.
Hey, what's going on? This is Richard Taylor.
Hey,
Just
hey.
calling in to check in with you, Rodney, TZ, everybody. How everybody doing?
Good.
How you doing, my
Hey.
brother?
All right, man. I was just digging the topic, man. It's a very, very good topic, man, about self-examination. Because we all have that capacity to be either the problem or the solution. And it's all in a particular mindset, as you were saying, is, even this while ago, like laying on the bed, or you made a bad mistake, are you going to wallow in it, or are you going to get up and make the proper adjustments to, make the right, make the right solution? So, it's just a point of self-examination. I actually had to examine myself. Am I working towards the solution to these quote unquote problems we have? Because we really don't have any problems. We just have life challenges that we all come upon, or are we looking at these challenges as problems and dwelling on the problem? So, I just once again want to thank y'all for bringing this subject at hand, and just looking forward to continuing to help solve problems, help bring solutions to anybody that I can.
Hey Richard, I appreciate that. Richard's also he has a podcast down in North Carolina. And what's the name of your podcast, Richard?
It's called the U-Turn Show. It's streamed live on my Facebook page, Taylor House Publishing, and it's every Tuesday night at 10 p.m.
Okay. Now, why do you call it the U-Turn? If you don't mind me
The
asking.
U-Turn Show came about because I actually interviewed the lady for a show, and we talked about my past, in which I traveled the wrong path early on in life. Then I made the transition to do the things I'm doing now.
Come on, bro.
So, after the interview, she asked me, well, hey, have you ever thought about hosting a radio show? And if you did, what would it be about? And I told her, hey, it probably would be about people like myself who, have traveled the wrong road and, made some changes and are now doing some great things. So she offered me the show, and that's what the name of the show that she came up with, the U-Turn Show.
bruh, and reason why I asked that because I was almost positive that if that's what you was going to say. The reason why
I know.
you use that
Yep, me
title,
too.
and and that's facing the truth about who you
Mhm.
are, where you make the decisions whether you want to keep going down the right road or you want to go down the wrong road.
Mhm.
And sometimes you're going down the road that you know you ain't supposed to be on, and what do you have to do?
Yeah, you gotta make that U-turn.
My-
As a person told me one time when I was deep in my troubles, he said, "Man, look, you can stop digging the hole at any time, and even when you stop digging that hole, you still have to climb out." So
Oh,
that
my
always
man.
that always stuck with me when he told me that. He said, "You can stop digging the hole at any time," and
I-
that's what
That's
a
a
lot
good
of
one.
times we do.
Yeah.
Keep digging the hole
Yeah.
because we think we're too
Yeah.
far gone. Next thing you know, we just keep digging and digging until we keep going further and further deep down into whatever it is that we're suffering from.
Hey, but so this is me. I'm a man that like to look for solutions. I love what you just said when you was talking about okay, you can dig the hole and now you down in the hole. Sometimes what people forget is this, that while you in the hole, what can you do? You can actually start digging steps, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
Why see, instead of looking at the situation, it's almost where they said you look at it whether the cup is half full or is half empty. You make the decision whether it's half empty or full to you by facing the facts of who you are and what you're doing.
Mhm.
If you ain't doing nothing about it, then it's half empty. But if you're doing something about it, then it's half full. And I love what you said about the hole. We dig the holes, and a lot of times we down there digging, and you got the tool right there that you actually dug the hole with to dig steps.
Yep.
Oh man, I never looked at it like that. That's a brand new outlook right there. That's a brand new perspective. I never thought about it like that. Digging the steps out of the hole.
Come on, man. All you
So
go,
you don't need nobody to reach down and get you. You can get yourself out of the hole yourself.
you can get
Yep.
yourself out of the hole yourself.
Mhm.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful.
I appreciate you so much,
Yes,
bro.
thank
Man,
you.
you know what? And see, this is just God working because you called in, and I'm hoping somebody that heard this message or hear this message will know. Um, uh, Tune in with Richard Taylor down in North Carolina on U-Turn on at 10 o'clock. You can get him on Facebook. He's an author. The gentleman is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal guy. He's been through a lot of trials and tribulations, and he's inspiring me as well because he made the U-turn. And I'm gonna keep that with me. Are you still gonna be able to make it up this weekend for the networking event?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say before we left. I hope and I look forward to seeing you this week, between 11 and 3, Saturday, correct?
Yes, sir. And
Yep, so I see y'all then. Once again, happy to be a part, affiliated with people to people, doing positive things, and look forward to seeing everybody.
All right. Thank
my
you.
man, God bless you.
Peace and blessings.
Man, that's so powerful. God is good. I mean, for him to just call right in and call at the time, and then him to say what he was saying, you know, um, you turn it a little bit, so
Oh, yeah.
just a little bit. There you go. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Mhm.
See, one of the things is this: when we dealing with stuff, don't be afraid to fix it.
Yep.
Some people gonna talk about you either way. They're gonna talk about you whether it's good or bad. Now you see, she just fixed that, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Was it a problem?
Nope.
It was a situation.
Mhm.
Is it solved?
And she found the solution. Added that little
They-
the tape to give it some balance. And,
Come on.
keep it in place. She said, "You're gonna stay fine."
That's powerful. And that's even for everybody and all of us. Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
God is good, and I do nothing but give Him glory and praise. I'm not afraid to let people know that I believe in a higher being than me, because I know without Him I can't survive.
Yep.
I know many guys who get locked up. The only way they can survive in there is they get into the Word, and then they start to have to find themselves.
Mhm.
You know what they do? They face the truth about themselves because they don't have no other choices. Yes. And I'm gonna throw that Cash App out there. The Cash App is the $RG1960. Yo, we always looking for supporters. We looking for donations. Yo, this is not about me. This is not about you. This is about us. You know,
Yes.
this is a platform. You know, we started off, and when we started off, it got a little shaky. But let me
Mhm.
tell y'all something. Let me show you how it works. See, in the process, God is wanting us to learn little things. Now, I hope today you got something out of this,
I
T.
did. I did.
You understand?
I
I
did.
love you, babe. I'm telling you. I respect you. I know that things ain't right where you want them to be, but they're not for me either. And they not for a lot of people. That go for you too.
I had a meltdown at work Friday. Working
Mhm.
15 hours, cried all day.
Mm.
But you know, it happens.
Yeah.
And what do? We got to get back up and we got to keep grinding. Sometimes you got to find that person that you can call and say, "Yo, I'm not feeling good today."
Yeah, that's my problem. Everybody get on me so much. Somebody yesterday was like, "I be calling you, and you ain't answer," and that's something I definitely got to work on because when I go through stuff, I just go on my little hole and just be by myself. And people like, "Why you didn't call me?" or "Why you didn't say anything?" And I just gotta release that pride, you
Yeah.
know.
You know. Sometimes my wife always says she'd be surprised at some of the things that I say. But I'm gonna tell you something that's real funny.
Okay.
How do you think a person that's really, really ugly, right? I mean, we see ugly people, right?
Mhm.
And they wake up in the morning, and when they face the truth that they ugly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah. It's true.
But do they have a problem? No, because ugly is only who you are on the inside for real. Because
Yeah.
I've seen some people who look like they was walking like diamonds and pearls and
Mhm.
cold-blooded buzzards, dressed up trash cans. What I'm saying is, you have to take that time and face the truth about yourself. Know who you are. Make the corrections. Don't be the one to pull somebody else down. Because they may be the one that you're going to have to step on to get up. And when you step on them, it don't mean that you stepping on them and pushing them down. They might have to just give you a hand and lock their hands together so you can step in there. And you make that difference. It's people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. This is the People Podcast. Let me tell you something. I don't care how many trials and tribulations we run into, we're going to keep getting up. We're going to keep on until we reach the top.
Mhm.
And I just want to say I thank all of y'all. I love you. And we just want y'all to continue to keep moving forward. That's
Yes.
our show. And we'll talk to you, see you. We'll be back here Wednesday.
Yes.
And I don't know what you got for him, Christy Love.
Wednesday, we're going to have a caller. And
Switch it.
Such for you.
All right, you guys. Hi, it's Christy Love. Wednesday, we're going to have a guest, Lisa. She's an author. She's a life coach. And we're going to talk about self-esteem and how it affects us.
All right. And I'm going to tell y'all, you can. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and we're going to do a practice coaching. So she's going to use me as an example, and she's going to coach me through a situation with self-esteem. And then we would like some callers to come in. If you would like to be briefly coached through a situation, she's available. She's going to coach you live right on the spot.
Well, I'm telling y'all, too, this is what's going to happen is on Wednesday, what's going to happen is I'm going to work the board. Tiana's going to be in the main hot seat. So we all got to switch places. We're gonna see
Okay.
what happens. So Tiana gonna be in the main hot seat. Since you're gonna bring a guest in, then
She'll be on the phone.
she gonna be on the phone. Okay. So I'm gonna work the board. Y'all gonna get me started, then I'm gonna work it from there, and I'm gonna handle that, and y'all gonna run it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up with some solutions and some topics and some things to move forward.
Mhm.
Because guess what? We're not the problem.
Yeah.
We're the solution.
Solution.
See ya. Thank you. Go ahead. You got to help her because she
Okay.
don't know what she.
Come on, sister.
It's all good. Let me tell you something. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Just watching y'all grow and watching the process. It's all going to come to that point. It's all about PTP for life. We're going to make it right. Let it play for a little bit. We own the rights to this music. We do own the rights.